ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् संदधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारमवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ ॐ May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study with Brahman. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om. Peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. Today is the day I think I should chant my favorite verse. From Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's a very good verse. It says, Yadyachyuto kathalapa rasa pijusavarjitam taddinam durdinam manne meghachanna na durdinam. That day is considered as the bad day when we do not discuss or take the name of God, which is just like a nectar. A cloudy or stormy day is not considered as a bad day. However, this morning I am going to talk about very, very important and practical aspect of spiritual life. The 5 states of human mind. This is actually very important verse, and almost nowadays most of the people, they know the verse, on the basis of which I am going to speak this morning. We have heard the name of the book Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and that is one of the philosophical schools out of 6 philosophical schools of India. And we know that in Indian philosophy the highest thing, the highest teachings is given in the beginning. But in the Western scriptures, we find they proceed from lower to higher. But in the Eastern philosophy and scriptures, we find that they first speak the highest thing in the beginning. And then, so one is top to bottom, and another approach is bottom to top. This is the difference. So in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the second verse, that is the most important verse, and almost all of us know that verse. And that verse says, this is the second verse, chapter 1, verse number 2. And that verse says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What is yoga? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. That is the verse. And I think most of the people in this country, they know this verse. On the basis of this verse, Vyasa and Bhoja, they are the commentators. These two are important commentators on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Indian scriptures, the sutras, which is called sutras, the verses or the formulas, sutras is called formulas. These verses are written in very scriptic way, means which is only necessary, they give those things, not a single extra thing. And in such a way, they are presented. One commentary is required. Otherwise, it is very difficult for a common man to study Indian scriptures. Take the example of Upanishad or Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Some commentary is required, explanation is required. Otherwise, we cannot understand these scriptures. So on Patanjali Yoga Sutra, two commentaries are very important. One is Vyasa's commentary and another is Bhoja's commentary. These two commentaries are very important. And on this particular verse, because this is a very, very important verse, this is the whole subject matter of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. In one verse, that is the second verse, in the beginning itself, they give this second verse, which is the condensed teachings of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Pardon? Right. Right. So, that is the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and that is Yoga Chittavritti Nirodha. Now, in the commentary, it explained in detail. And there they said that there are 5 states of human mind. And that is what I am going to explain to you. In Bhagavad Gita also, we find Bhagavad Gita says there are 4 types of people. Then again, they said there are 3 types of people on the basic characteristics. So, what is the main ingredient of human personality according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra is 3 things plus 1. What are the 3 things? 3 primordial things. Those are Sattva, Tamas and Rajas. These are the 3 things. And then the consciousness. These 3 things, Sattva, Tama, Rajas, is called Prakriti, and the consciousness is called Purusha. So, the human personality is the combination of Prakriti and Purusha. Not only human personality, the whole universe, the creation is nothing but the combination of Prakriti and Purusha, consciousness, spirit and matter. So the Sattva, Tama, Rajas is the matter, Sattva is the good quality, Rajas is the very dynamic aspect of it, and Tamas is a kind of blunt, dull. And they actually tag it with the color, and the tamas, the color of tamas is dark, it is gloomy, dull. The color of rajas is red, it is dynamic. And the color of sattva is white, pure, serene. So, these are the 3 colors they said. Now, the human personality is the permutation and combination of these 3 things. Sometimes, and these are not static also, these are changing. And we can understand by studying our mind. Sometimes we feel very serene, divine, our mind is calm and quiet. Sometimes our mind is very restless, under stress. Sometimes we feel gloomy, sleepy, dull. So these are different state of mind. And the cause of different state of mind is different composition of sattva, tamas and rajas. Because of 3 permutation combination of these 3 elements, our mood, our personality, our mind changes. So let me explain. Swami Vivekananda actually explained this Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and you can find it in volume 1 of Swami Vivekananda's complete works under Raja Yoga. But Swami Vivekananda followed mainly. He did not explain, he did not give any commentary on that, but he explained Patanjali Yoga Sutra line by line meaning and sometimes his own observation. And he followed Bhoja's commentary. So on this particular verse, he gave a very good explanation, his own explanation. And it is very clear what is called chitta. Three things are there in this particular verse: chitto, vritti, nirodha. See. And that is yoga. So, what is chitta? What is vritti? And what is nirodha? He says, what is chitta? He gave an example. We all know how the pearl is made, not the synthetic pearl, but the natural pearl. You know, the pearl shell, the insect, some parasite enters into them. And when that parasite or a simple particle of sand or stone enters into their shell, it generates irritation to them. And they throw some kind of chemicals and kind of enamel. And that kind of liquid, what they are throwing, kind of enamel, that coats layer after layer on that parasite or particle or stone, and ultimately pearl is made. That is the process of pearl. Natural pearl. Exactly same way our mind is working. The external things, we see an elephant, we see a form of book, we see a form of man. And that is a kind of parasite hits our mind. That is the stimulate. That stimulate hits our mind. And we feel some kind of irritation in mind, not irritation, some kind of reaction in mind, and we throw our reaction. And it gives shape of that man, of that elephant, of that book. So actually, according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the man, the book, the elephant is not outside, it is inside. So this is called chitta. The mind is called chitta. And the enamel or reaction we are throwing is called vritti. Just example, another example. If you throw a stone in a very calm and quiet lake, what happens? The lake gives its reaction by generating the waves. If the stone is heavy, the waves are bigger. Exactly in the same way, our mind gives a reaction and it throws and in enamels, coating. So this throwing, these reaction waves is called vritti. So, what is yoga? Chittos vritti, this chitta mind, the function of this vritti, nirodha. Nirodha means completely turned down. There will be no wave, there will be no throwing of enamel. Completely shut down. That is called yoga. So, but our mind is playing, our irritation when some stimulate hits on our mind, we give reaction. That reaction depends upon the permutation and combination of sattva, tama, rajas, these three prakritis. The combination, if the sattva is predominant, then the reaction will be inclined to divine, pure, as a good person. If our mind is predominant in tamas, it will be gloomy, it will be anger, it will be, some kind of bad reaction. If our mind is predominant with rajas, then our reaction will be a little bit dynamic, again forceful, like that. So, on the basis of this mind's reaction, Patanjali and the commentators, mainly the commentators, Patanjali did not say any verse on this, but the commentators, they commented on this particular verse, that there are 5 types of human mind on the basis of this process. And if we can understand this, that what kind of person I am, see, what a beautiful scripture. We can understand, it is a kind of litmus test. We can understand what is our nature. If you go in Bhagavad Gita very in detail, chapter 14, chapter 15, chapter 16, in detail Bhagavad Gita explained that if you do this kind of thing, you are considered tamas or rajas or sattva, which is predominant in you. If you eat certain kind of food, then you are considered that you are sattvic or tamasic or rajasic person. So very clearly, so we can understand what is our nature by seeing that book. It is so easy. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, they said that there are 5 types of people. And then Patanjali explained, if you are this kind of people, what you have to do. But we know that Patanjali propagated the idea of meditation, control, yoga. Yoga is control of mind. What Patanjali explained. Yoga means a lot of things. Yoga means union. Yoga means control also. So, and yoga means concentration also. So, Patanjali explained mainly the concentration of mind, which is meditation. He propagated the idea of meditation. So, obviously, meditation is the basis of all kind of situation, But we can understand. If we study it, if we know it, we can understand how can we control our mind. The ultimate goal is not the mind. Go beyond the mind. Go back. Mind is always fluctuating, working. This mind is, according to Indian philosophy, is an instrument. So, with a machine, what you will do? Machine has nothing to do unless there is electricity. How much bigger machine is that? It is no matter. The point is, if electricity is not there, machine is useless. So machine is completely slave of something. It may do so many things, but it has no independent mind, independent will. That is why mind doesn't have independent will. So we have to go behind that. And there is the intelligence. And behind intelligence, the power of self. That is the main power. So, that is the ideal state. We have to go that. Now, what are the 5 states of human mind? The first one is called Shiptam. This is a Sanskrit word. All these 5 words is Sanskrit. They call Shiptam. Shiptam means restless, completely restless mind. You see, people are there, they are completely restless. And this restlessness of mind, totally, if you see any person restless, you know it for sure that he or she is completely under the control of senses. What the senses are guiding them, they are doing. They are dancing like under the senses. Just now senses are desire and senses are doing. Go to that immediately. What they see, just like a children. Take the example of a children. They are playing with one toy. Immediately they saw another one. They left it and they go there. Immediately they grab another one. And then with that, another person is looking. Immediately they ran there. Everything is left behind. So exactly that is the ideal example of the person, those who are restless. It is very difficult for them to meditate. This person cannot meditate because they are completely in the hand of their senses. And we have the 5 senses: eyes, ears, skin, tongue, etc., etc. These 5 senses. So they are completely under the clutches of 5 senses. That is the restless person. How this shiptam, restless mind can be controlled? This is the first. They cannot meditate. So what they can do? They can work, serve people in a disciplined way. They can read books. Reading good books are the very important aspect to approach to the spirituality. They should read book systematically. Then they would pray. No matter whether they follow the path of jnana or they follow the path of bhakti, no matter. Prayer has its own independent power to control mind. So, prayer. These are the deep studies, prayer, intense prayer, and selfless, disciplined selfless service. disciplined is important. Disciplined selfless service. If they only work selfless service, it is very difficult for them to control their mind. Ultimate goal is to control their mind. So this is the first character. This is the first type of human being. Second type of mind is called mudham, dull. The first kind of predominant of rajas, restless mind, dynamism. This is predominance of rajas, because rajas is, huge energy, dynamism. So this is the predominant of rajas. The second type is called mudham. This mind is completely dull or inactive. It happens because of sickness, some ill health. This thing happened. But to normal people, it happens due to conflict. When two desires are very strong, then the conflict of these two intense desires gives us dullness. Take the example. A football lover, if on that day is a Super Bowl and on the same time his intimate friend's birthday party, what this guy will do? Either he has to watch the Super Bowl, or he has to go to friend's birthday. What he would do? In this intense desire situation, conflict, when there is a conflict between intense two desires, the people say, I cannot understand what I said to do. They become dull. So they cannot understand what they should do. So the conflict, opposing desire, and the problem becomes worst when these two desires become repressed. The person cannot understand what is the cause of my dullness, because it is repressed. This conflict is repressed. They cannot understand. Some people can understand, but some people cannot understand. I am feeling uneasy. I don't know what it's happened. I'm feeling dull, I cannot find any kind of inspiration. So this is the depression, spiritual dryness. That is the attention. It comes in this state, mudham. So what should we do in this situation to overcome this situation? Again, study. So in this situation, we must know that we are under the clutches of our senses, and tamas is predominant, and either we have to get through by discrimination, strong discrimination, or prayer, or studying books. These are the three ways for these two types of people. Predominance of rajas, predominance of tamas. These two types of people, it is very difficult for them to sit and to meditate. So they have to do some kind of other things. And those are studying, praying, and definitely little bit self-disciplined, selfless work. The third type is called Vikshiptam. So the first one is Shiptam. The third one is Vikshiptam. So Vikshiptam means the preoccupied mind. They are also restless, but not the first one. Their mind is preoccupied by something. The best example is the scientist, scholars. Their mind is preoccupied by some thought. This is the combination of sattva and rajas. No dullness. Their mind is working, but they cannot sit for meditation for a long time. So this is the state when a person can start meditation. The antidotes of this kind of mind is meditation. They must practice meditation. The meditation starts from here. So this is the state in which concentration can be practiced. For concentration is impossible in the first two states. However, this concentration is only a sort of preoccupation with ideas or activities and is something quite different from the true meditation. This must be not true meditation because their mind is occupied with something else. So this will not be the true meditation, but meditation, the practice of meditation should start from this state. So spiritual aspirants should learn to keep the mind at least in this state through work, studies, and deep thinking. So this is the Vikshiptam. Most of our mind, the normal human mind, they are in this type. So their study is very important. Study, deep thinking, and meditation. These three things or concentration is very important for this state. This is called Vikshiptam, and this is 50-50, Sattva and Rajas. The fourth state is called Ekagram. Ekagram means concentrated. So this is completely predominant of sattva. And here actually this mind is completely free from mental automatism. We have some mental automatism, Our mind automatically does something. So if you do the same thing every day, and if it happens that on particular day you have to go, you are driving, and if you follow the same route every day, and the other day if you have to go other way, the chance is that you will miss that. You will go to your regular way. The 90% chance. So it is mental automatism. We have some kind of mental automatism. So this kind of mind, Ekagram, concentrated mind, is completely free from mental automatism, completely free from senses. Their will is completely free from egoism, completely free from senses, completely free. These people are elevated people. These are yogis' mind. This is not normal people's mind. They can attain the samadhi matram. We know Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the 7 stages, the yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So this samadhi is not actual samadhi according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Vyasa explained it. This is called samadhi matram. This is only matram samadhi. This is not actual samadhi. The actual samadhi will come the next stage, the 5th stage. This is samadhi matram. But this is yogi's mind. By oikagram is meant not ordinary concentration, but the higher concentration. And becomes permanent attribute only when psychophysical system is made ready. So if our psychophysical system is ready, then this kind of ekagram mind will give us higher fruit. So this is the 4th kind of mental state. And the 5th, which is the highest state, is called Nirodha. So the verse was Yoga Chittabritti Nirodha. See, the last one is Nirodha. What does it mean by Nirodha? The Nirodha doesn't mean that it is completely blunt. It is in the superconscious state, where in ekagram, samadhi matram, the vrittis are restrained. In the beginning, I said, that what is vritti? Vritti is this throwing of enamels. That is called vritti, reaction, our reaction. If you throw a stone in the lake, the ripples. That is called vritti. So, in the oikagram, 4th state, the vrittis are restrained. They are there, but they are controlled, they are restrained. But here in Nirodha, there is completely cessation of vritti. No vritti at all. And this is the highest stage, which is called asampragyata yoga or nirvija samadhi. That is samadhi matram. Their vija is there, seed is there. That may sprout again. But here, nirvija vritti or asampragyata yoga, that is the highest attainment of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Asampragyata yoga. First sampragyata yoga, then asampragyata yoga. That is the highest attainment of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Completely, and at that point, there will be no body. Slowly body breaks. Body breaks means body is the combination of 3 things. What are the 3 things? Sattva, tamas and rajas. And the consciousness. So this separation of consciousness from all other sattva, tama, rajas is the ultimate goal what Patanjali advocated. So, this Nirodha is the complete attainment where the consciousness is separated from all other three things. Nirodha. So that is exact yoga. So yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. So yoga is, we have understood what is chitta, what is vritti, and nirodha. So there are 5 states of human mind. First 2 states, first one is predominant of rajas, which is called kshiptam, restless. Second one is called mudham, which is predominant of tamas, dull. The third is called vikshiptam, preoccupied thought. The fourth is called oikagram. The third one is 50-50, sattva and rajas. The fourth one is oikagram, samadhi matram, predominant of sattva. And the last one, beyond sattva. So that story, Sri Ramakrishna gave the example very in lucid way. There are 3 robbers. They caught one person who was crossing the forest. These 3 robbers lived in a forest, and a passers-by, he was passing, they caught and took everything what he had. Then the first robber said, okay, we took everything, we robbed everything, now kill this person and throw him. The second robber told, no, don't kill, we have taken everything, just leave him. And the third robber, he said, okay, you see, we took everything, come, I shall take you to the border of the forest, and then you will go. I shall not cross the border of the forest, because if I cross it, then the police will catch me. So he took to the forest. The first one who said kill, that is tamas. Tamas says kill. The second one who said don't kill, just leave him, that is the rajas. And who said, okay, come, I shall take you, because you will miss the actual pathway. I shall take you to the border of the forest, and then I leave you. But I cannot go, I cannot cross the border. Then they will catch me. So this is sattva. But they all are rubber. If we are under the clutches of sattva, tama, rajas, we cannot realize the consciousness. Because these 3 things are the matter, prakriti. Consciousness is different thing. So we must be identified with the consciousness. So the separation of consciousness and the prakriti, that is the goal that Patanjali prescribed and taught. And that is the second verse. If these 5 nature people, we can understand what is our nature, and accordingly we have to act. Thank you. Do you have any question? Yes, please.
I have never really figured out where the will fits inside of this.
Okay, this is a completely different subject. What is the function of will in Indian philosophy? I think in many cases, many talks, I referred this. What is the function of will? Will is our mental force. So our mental force is now, it is the dynamic aspect. Will is not emotion, it is not feeling. It is the dynamic aspect of ourself. It is coming from ourself. So our will is now connected with ego and connected with desire. So the mental force that we exert to fulfill our desire, that is called will. Now, we do not exert our will fully to attain our spiritual height, to gain our spiritual experience. We cannot, we do not. But on the other way, we apply or exert our will to fulfill our desire, to execute our worldly things. So that is why this will is under the clutches of desire or egoism, ultimately egoism. So, free your will from egoism and desire, and when you can free your will from these two things, automatically it will proceed towards inward, and that is the ideal state. When your will, mental force, will go inward, then you can have the spiritual experiences.
Is it a part of the mental or?
No, it is according to Indian philosophy, it is not mental, it is the dynamic aspect of self. Mental means mind, connected with mind. Mind doesn't have any independent thing. Mind has some kind of knowledge, no doubt about that, and that is the difference between the animal mind and human mind. The difference between the animal mind and human mind is this: animal mind doesn't have any kind of knowledge there, I would say. That doesn't have any kind of knowledge. The knowledge of evolution they don't have. But human mind is connected with the intellect. They have the intellect, but this intellect is so veiled or coated with ignorance, with desire, with instinct, that they cannot distinguish their intellect, because their intellect is completely covered by instinct. But human intellect is not that much. That is why human being, they can think. They want to evolve. A person who has everything, still he would not be satisfied, because they cannot fulfill their creativity. These are the functions of human being, human character. The creativity, the evolution, this kind of thing animal doesn't have. So this is the difference. So this will is not mental. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukkham Apnuat. Sarvastarotu Durgani. Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu. Sarva Sadbuddhimapnotu. Sarva Sarvatra Nandatu. Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat. Sajjana Shantimapnuat. Shantamuccheti Vandebhyo. Muktaschanyan Vimochayet. May all be happy. May all enjoy good health. May all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. We have some announcements. Next Sunday, there will be the guest lecturer, Swami Ishodhyanananda, Assistant Minister of Sacramento, Vedanta Society of Sacramento. He will deliver the talk at 11 o'clock in this hall next Sunday, March 12. The title of his talk is A Checklist of Our Spiritual Growth. And there will be our AGM at 3 p.m. next Sunday. And next Sunday we do not have our San Jose event also in the evening. As usual, tea and coffee will be served in the Saradananda Hall, which will be followed by Prasad luncheon. You all are welcome. Thank you.